What's up, you guys? Welcome back. It's day 4 and we got quite a bit done. I want to take you through and show you some of the things that we did over the past 4 days. We are actually here on day 4, so let's walk through and I'll show you what happened. Okay, so we are actually in the front bedroom out towards the right side, and as you can see, we got the Joe Latender special down here where we put the pieces of flooring down and we put screws in the flooring to hold it straight. Now, how do I know where I got that? It's because we ran a laser all the way down the floor here, and then we made marks on both this end. You can actually see, I think, let's see. Yeah, right there. That's my crow's foot right there for where I actually snapped the line. So that line went all the way down through there, and it actually went all the way into the bathroom. That way we could make sure that we are straight from one end of the house all the way to the other. And then we put a couple rows together, and then we put these right here. Now you can see also I put it on each end, and I'm putting it on the seams too. That way I've only got to put one. I put one in the middle there, one on the seam, and then I put one here. It didn't go all the way full board, so I figured 2 was good to go. And then of course we put a couple in here to hold that inside the closet, a couple going into the laundry room, a couple going into that bathroom. That's nothing, that's just a tapping block. And then down through here we use spacers, and I'm not worried about the floor moving at this point because the spacers are anywhere where it's a 1/4 inch, and I use the 1/4, and then as it gets bigger, if it does, I slide it down until it touches, or I can flip it over on the 1/2 inch side, which is like this right here. It's actually a 1/4, so you can see this is a little bit loose right there, but I'm not really worried about it at all. It picked back up a 1/4 inch over here, and then it's falling on the line, and then we got the spacers holding it over here. Let me turn that light on. We got the spacers holding it over here, but then also I put 2 screws down at this end holding it so it wouldn't move, and then when it was on the line I put these screws in here too so that it won't move. This is how much floor we've gotten in with the tear out and what we've done just at flooring. And there's a couple things I want to make mention right now while I'm sitting here looking at it. I've seen a lot of, oh, this is how you do this on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts. Now let me get one thing straight. I'm not saying it's wrong to do this, okay? You can do it if you're going for a pattern. A lot of times when you're laying tile in bathrooms, you'll see them start off with a full tile, then a half tile, and a full tile, and a half tile. And that's if they're doing a brick pattern, right? Well, you don't really want to do a brick pattern in the floor unless you have some type of flooring like that, you know what I'm saying? You can, but I'm going to tell you this. This is just my opinion only. If a floor installer who does flooring every day walks in, that's just going to be the first thing that they notice, and they're probably going to say, look at the H patterns. Now, why are H patterns a no-no? Structurally, it's not the best because you have that line going in there, but you literally have to have a tornado come and blow your stuff up for it to rip. I don't think that over time that line is just going to separate because it's a full board H, a full board seam, full board seam, full board seam. It's going to be fine. It's just aesthetically looking at it. If you could see all the lines going, to me, in my opinion, I just don't like to see stair stepping, and that's where it goes, looks like a set of steps, and the sideways is just as big as the up, but then the sideways is the same up, so you can literally tell that's that way. So we like to do our floorings as random as possible, and the way we achieve that is by starting with either a smaller board or a big board, whatever we do, and the very next one is going to be the opposite. So we have a big board, I tend to cut one right in half and join those next 2 together with that, which makes it my short board. And then I go a little longer, a little shorter, a little longer, and if I see something that's going to land, I'll even just take like 1.5 inches off of it, just so it doesn't land on that same seam. Anywhere on my job, I try not to make a seam land on the same spot, even if it's 10 feet away. So let me show you what I'm saying. Let's take a look. Now, like I said, it's okay if you do H patterns and stair steps if that's the look that you're going for. But again, if it's a professional floor installer, or if it's a decorator or somebody who deals with the details of everything, they're going to come in and appreciate the fact that, like this right here, this one right here, it's 2 away, but they just don't line up. You see, even though they look like they do, they're not exactly lined up. We just, at the top up there, we just didn't want to make it the same. And so you can see the randomness of like here and here and here and here, the way it's spaced out. That's just the way I prefer to do it, and so far we don't have any complaints. You do it how you want to do. I'm not going to be mad at your floor at all. I just let you know, as a professional floor installer, when I come in and see H patterns and stair steps, in my mind I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Ooh, look, H pattern. Ooh, look, stair step. I won't say it out loud, but I will say it in my head. I even had a good friend of mine who installed floors with me for a while look at one of my videos. I was like, hey man, go check out my video. And rather than come back and say, hey, that was a good message, or I like what you did there, the first thing he said was H pattern. And I said, where? Because I didn't see it. And I literally had to go to the video and look for it and still didn't see it. And he's like, back corner left on the other side of where the toilet is. I was like, I'll be dog, there is an H pattern there. And it was only one, but that's what I'm saying. He was a professional floor installer, and that's what he noticed. All right, guys, so I'm gonna set the camera up here, and we're gonna try to go through all these rooms and get some of this floor installed. I'm gonna let you guys hang out with me for just a little bit, or you can hang out as long as you want. I'm just gonna let the camera roll. All right, guys, let's go.
Installing LVP is pretty much beginner friendly. As you can see, I'm not even using a hammer or a mallet, just a basic tapping block. And as we stated in the beginning of the video, I used the laser to start my flooring. That's very important because when you are installing in two different rooms that go around the wall and join back in on the other side, it has to be straight.
What you doing?
Can you video?
Okay, that's fine. I put the fake boards there because if you chip any of this, how are you going to fix it? There's like, you would have to pull all of this out. So they're there until we install, because if you chip it, you're done. You've got to pull a lot out.
Good tip, Miss Kelly.
Thanks.
All right, guys, here we are back at the house out in Providence, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And we are on day 5, and I wanted to take you through and show you the progress so far. So we worked ourselves all the way up to close to the fireplace, and we had to stop right here. And the reason is because we have to floor the kitchen in here. So it picks up right there, and then it'll link back in over here. Now Kelly put these boards here for me for reference, so that when I get up to this area, when I go to start my starter pieces going in here before I get to that area, I don't land on a specific joint over here. So she's already placed like where this one should be, and you can see she's offset it from there to that one. It's 2 planks off, and it's over again right there too. So, and I can even hardly see that seam, but anyway, she did that to make sure that once I got laying floor over there, I didn't come up here and go, oh man, it landed right on a seam, or landed on an H pattern, or landed on a stair step or something like that. So that helps me with that. Let's walk in here. You can see we got the hallway done. There's some work going to be done back here. I think we're taking this door out and just building the wall. So I stopped right there, and I'll put some paper down and fix that. We got the closet completely installed, and I actually cut the cord around in there. Sometimes I use the cord around cutters when I'm doing inside corners because it's just a lot faster, but the outside corners, definitely I like to continue using miter saw for that because it'll booger up your cord around if you're trying to do outside corners. They're just never perfect. Yeah, we got that installed in there, and so there we go. Down the hallway in here, and then yesterday Kelly got this area installed here so that we can take off into this other bedroom in here, and that's from the other day. But yeah, it took a little while to get this done right here, but I'll be honest with you, when you have to do these little cuts back and forth like this, it takes a long time to get around those doors and around those jambs and everything through there. So Kelly did a good job on that. And then of course I did this yesterday, which is the kitchen. So flowing on into here, we got up underneath the dishwasher, and we're about to round around this corner right here. So that's where we are today, guys. Stick around, I'll let you know what's up next. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. We are actually day 6 here in Providence, which is in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I'm going to take you through and show you what we got done yesterday on day 5. Alright, so this is the living room right here, and we got most of it knocked out yesterday, except for around the fireplace. I was supposed to bring some transitions today, but I didn't remember, so we'll get that. But you see where we stopped off yesterday here, because we had to make our way around this door right here and work our way from the living room on into the kitchen breakfast area, which we got all that wrapped up. We got the kitchen done yesterday, and then of course you guys saw the bedroom in here yesterday. All right, and then working our way down the hallway here. We still got to go into this bathroom right here, and I'm about to go into this laundry room right here. They wanted that done, I guess, in case over the weekend they wanted to do some things. They wanted to make sure that that was done. And then this bedroom right here is about 1/3 of the way done, you can see, and then all we have is square cuts from in there. We got a little bit going on the doors over there, but once we get up there, we should be in good shape. This bathroom hasn't been done yet because we have to pull that toilet, and we're just holding off on that, so we still have a toilet. This bedroom was done yesterday. It's complete 100% except for the quarter round, including the one little spot that we always miss in the corner over there, because we'll come back to that later, right? All right, anyway, I went ahead and did that because I hate coming back later. Anyway, that's what we got going on today. I'll check back with you and let you know how it goes. I'll at you later. You guys, so we made it to the laundry room, and as we stated, there were going to be some rooms that we were going to have to install backwards. This room is one of those rooms, so we've made it into the doorway. I made a little video on how to get into the doorway, especially if you're going backwards. That can be quite a challenge. Let me tell you, it's not easy to do. There are some things you're going to have to do to make it look good, and I explained those in that video. But right now we are into the laundry room, and we're going to start installing this stuff backwards, and I'm going to show you. It's actually not hard to install backwards. It's actually, I found out in there that I had been going where I slip the tongue into the groove and do the snatching method, but I found out by sticking the groove underneath the tongue, it seems to go in a little bit easier. So I think going backwards, I'm going to try that method and see how that goes. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't used a tapping block or a hammer on almost this whole install. There was a couple issues where I had to grab them just to fudge some things in and persuade it to go. But for the most part, this is truly, I would say, drop and lock, but the tongue does lock into the end. But the other part of it is definitely just roll it in and lock. It's not hard at all. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to be installing backwards in this room. I'm going to show you how I do it. Here we go. Alright, so coming in the door right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this first one in the way that directions say. And as you can see, I have a groove right here. So that's the way they're saying it. Now this is going backwards, so instead of slipping it in, you're going to have to slip it up underneath and then roll it in. Which is really, I mean, that falls down real nice doing it that way. So that's why I suggest maybe even trying to install it backwards in your home may work better for you. I would definitely lay me a box out on the floor and then try installing some, not just one in front of the other one, but actually put two ends together. Click one in over here and see if you can get it in the seam and see if it works better for you falling in backwards. This one, I have a seam right here, and my seam is right here, so I want to come back and cut it back at least somewhere around 8 inches. I'm just going to eyeball it right here, chop it down, and then throw it in. Okay, so our first board is going in backwards. I've got it locked in and I just slid it over. Next. Now generally you can just turn these boards around backwards and mark it to measure, but as you can see I'm in between two walls, so we're going to have to pull the tape measure out. If we can find it. Got it. Alright, so we're going backwards, remember, so I want to go from this wall right here. I got 20 inches of cord. I'm telling you, this LVP is really simple to install. I mean, you can take a dull blade and cut this stuff and it seems to work out just fine. Alright, here's me slipping the tongue into the groove on the ends first. Alright, and then right here I'm just pushing it towards it. And as soon as it touches, I'm going to lift up like this. That's down. All right, we're gonna do another one. But we're gonna do it the other way, coming from this way first. So I need a piece that, okay, so I have a seam here and I have a seam here, and the rule is little, big, little, big. However, if I put a small one in there, it's gonna be tiny and that won't separate me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one over here, and we'll come back with a smaller one. And when you come in and look at the pattern, you'll see it'll look fun. As in fact, you know what I think I'm gonna do instead? I think I'm just gonna do a full piece all the way across. How about that?
Why don't you tell them why we do big, little, big, little?
I did in the other video.
Okay. I was gonna say, because sometimes big, little doesn't work right, but.
Right, and I had to do it in there big. All right, so this one right here is, I'm gonna go with 38. And we're just gonna put a full one across. Now, you keep a scrap piece on you so you can slip it up underneath. That way you can do all your cutting straight here on the floor. That's what I like to do. So I don't like getting up, going to a cutter or going to a saw when I can literally take a dull blade and score this material. Literally, it snaps like so. Alright, so here we go, going in backwards. Alright, so we go all the way across. That lays in there beautifully. Alright guys, so we're going to start off on this end. Again, I have my seam right here. I want to try not to line that thing up perfect, and as we said, we either take an inch or two off so it comes back or comes up, but I don't want to get too close to the seam, so I think I'm going to go back just a little bit off the wall. This thing right here is 9 inches, so I'm going to go 7 inches for my very first starter piece on that side. 7 inches. So here's the true test. This time, instead of slipping the tongue into the groove, we're going to be slipping the groove into right up underneath the tongue and laying it down. Alright guys, so we're slipping under right here. And I just, with my fingertips, I'm bringing it in like that. And I want to roll it up and make sure it's locked in. You can start right here, just like that. I think that went in pretty good. Went in pretty good. Alright, so we're moving on. Again, we're starting with this side. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. We got most of it installed here into the laundry room. The only other cuts I have is this vent right here. I mean, it's going to be a straight cut on the little one and straight cut on the other side, and then have a little notch in that one going forward. But hey, going backwards, it's not a problem at all. So give it a try. Have some courage. You got this.